she's getting that crew cut look now.
Awarded as the best of Louisville. Look out! Here is Billy Jack Haynes.
One last strut for the fans of Memphis, Tennessee.
Dave Brown and Corey Macklin here at ringside. Lance Russell has the day off today. Be back with us next week. Well, what action we got coming up today?
A bunch of it. How about Jerry the King Lawler, Bill Superstar Dundee right here in the ring today. The boys from the hood, PG-13, they're going to be here today also, taking on a team of the Gambler and Gorgeous George III and Doug Gilbert, Brickhouse Brown.
Oh,
so a
yes,
bunch of it today.
And in the USWA in the last couple of weeks, some of the most exciting days we have ever had.
Exciting.
Several situations going on after the best of Louisville and Memphis memories. We'll tell you more about that as we go along to update some of those situations. But coming back here, we got some big action coming up. We also got somebody coming in that maybe all of us don't want to see. We'll have that in just a moment. Stay with us. Well, I mentioned a moment ago we'd have some folks coming out that everybody didn't necessarily want to see. We have time allotted right here for someone who arrived in the USWA a couple of weeks ago and started immediately insulting everybody. Absolutely no respect for any of the tradition, any of the great history and the great wrestlers who have been around here. Here's Brandon Baxter, and I hope maybe over the last couple of weeks in Louisville and in Memphis with the memories and all of that, you've gained a bit of respect for what has gone on around here.
The talk is out. There is a new kid in town. The days of the legends ruling the USWA are finished. We're beginning a new era right now, here today.
Well, I'm not sure that what I've seen so far is a very impressive era. As a matter of fact, I got some videotape that I'd like you to...
You don't like it? You don't like it? Hey, where's Lance Russell? He doesn't want to be around me. He's scared. He's intimidated to be around Brandon Baxter.
Scared?
This is a new era, the Brandon Baxter era, and everyone is going to have to be a part of it, whether they like it or not.
Well, as I was saying before you interrupted, I'm not too happy with the Brandon Baxter era that I've seen so far. Let's take a look. If you don't mind, please stand right here. Let's take a look at this videotape, and I think you'll understand what I'm talking about with this guy.
Baxter, who's the Moondog's manager, he got embarrassed when Handsome Jimmy came out, flowered him, caused actually because of the distraction to wreck. He called Jimmy out here and said, get in the ring, and I'm going to take care of you. And Handsome Jimmy did. Here comes Tommy Rich rolling out. He rakes Jimmy across the eyes. Here comes Doug Gilbert and slams Jimmy right in the ribs with an iron pipe. Here is primetime Brian Lee. And once again, Doug Gilbert pounding Handsome Jimmy Valiant. While Brandon Baxter holds the feet, Tommy Rich holds the arms and the head. Jimmy ripped across the ribs. And now Gilbert leaning down with everything he can right on the ribs. I told you. Oh, no, I'm seeing what he's got over here. Primetime Brian Lee out. As they're going to tar and feather Jimmy. What kind of lousy deal is this? As they come out, dumping the feathers all over Jimmy. Oh, that's really funny. Yeah. And here comes the King, Jerry Lawler. Tommy Rich slips out of here. He picks up the pike. Dundee right behind him. Gilbert and Rich go flying out.
There it is. The Brandon Baxter era begins. Beat up a guy, 4 against 1 with an iron pipe. But I think you discovered that he also has some friends.
You look around and who don't you see? You don't see Jimmy Valiant because he's out somewhere dressed up like a chicken with broken ribs. Poor Jimmy Valiant. That leaves 2 legends. One being the supposable king of Memphis, Jerry Lawler, and the other being superstar Bill Dundee. So what I've done, I've taken a step to further myself. I have formed a corporation. Let me bring them out here right now. I'm talking about Dangerous Doug Gilbert, Primetime Brian Lee, and Jim Harris, my bodyguard. From now on, we are known as the Legend Slayers.
The Legend Slayer.
The Legend Slayers.
Oh. Well,
You know, Dave Brown, it's right, Brandon. Brandon's a very smart man. See, there are some legends that need to be slayed. But in order, Dave Brown, to slay a legend, what do you have to have? You have to have Brian Lee, and you have to have Dangerous Doug Gilbert, because you have to slay legends. You have to have legends to do the slaying. Right, Brian?
That's exactly right. You know, Dave Brown, last 3 months, I have been the marquee player. Doug Gilbert has been the marquee player. Now, as a team, we can't be stopped. Jerry Lawler, Bill Dundee. I'd look out if I were you.
I'm not the only one who would look out.
Yeah, you better look out too, Dave Brown, because I'm fixing to hop up in this ring right here, and I'm fixing to destroy Brickhouse Brown.
We'll see. Let's go to the ring right now. We've got this match coming up, our opening match of the day on USWA Championship Wrestling. Corey, it has some promise of being an interesting match as Doug Gilbert goes against Brickhouse Brown. A couple of veteran wrestlers in there. It is going to be a single match, by the way. Primetime Brian Lee is out here, but is not scheduled to wrestle in the match, so let's get him out of the ring. Here comes Brickhouse right here. He steps up. Referee Bill Rush in between them all. Come on, Brian Lee's got to get out of that ring. This is a single match. He finally steps out. Brandon Baxter over here at the table. I guess we can probably count on a comment or two from him. Waiting for the bell to sound, and we can't sound it now. The referee says ring it as Brian Lee finally steps out of the ring.
I'm here, Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee, to go ahead and face Brandon Baxter now. We are the Legend Slayers. We are professional wrestling. We are the talk of the town, and there's nothing anybody can do about it. You understand that, old man?
Well, you're the talk of the town. Watch what you're doing here. You are the talk of the town, but primarily you're the talk of the town because of using a lead pipe and 4 against 1 to go against handsome Jimmy Valiant. And it's one thing to come out here and claim to be Legend Slayers. It's another thing to do it on a consistent basis.
Where is Jimmy Valiant? Doesn't that mean we are the Legend Slayers? Where is he? The supposable legend. No one can run him out of Memphis until Brandon Baxter.
You have hurt 1 legend. You still haven't slain any legends. You haven't gone 2 against 2 or 1 against 1 with either Bill Dundee or Jerry Lawler. That's exactly a different situation if we can keep it even in there.
It'll happen one of these days, and when it does, say goodnight to the king and the superstar.
We'll see. Meanwhile, Doug Gilbert against Brickhouse Brown right here.
A good bout right here today on USWA Wrestling. The Brickster, wrestling out of Miami, Florida. Dangerous Doug Gilbert. Wrestling out of Lexington, Tennessee. And Brickhouse Brown working over the left arm of Doug Gilbert. Brian Lee, along with his head of security.
Yeah.
Jimmy Harris, Brandon Baxter, all of them out there.
I want to look at Brian Lee trips up Brickhouse Brown.
Speak of the devil.
I want to point out the Legend Slayer. It's one of those things where you got Brickhouse Brown in here all alone. You got Doug Gilbert, Brian Lee, Brandon Baxter, and the head of security, Jimmy Harris, all in here. It's 4 against 1.
Yeah.
Not only do they have the numbers a little bit,
come on.
It's 4 against 1. Teamwork.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Illegal teamwork. Doug Gilbert. Nailing away at Brickhouse Brown. Sets Brick up. Whips him into the ropes. Brown, sunset flip. He's got him covered over here. But Brian Lee had the attention of referee Bill Rush. Brickhouse Brown had him rolled up there, Dave. He had him for, I bet you, a 3 count. Doug Gilbert comes back, gets a pin, 2, and Brickhouse kicks out.
Referee Bill Rush in recent weeks has had some great difficulties. Referees have a very tough job. Officials do in any sport. Boy, in this one, when you got 4 or 5 guys running around, this is what we were talking about. There are 3 guys running around on the floor here to distract the referee. But boy, it sure did work to the disadvantage of Brickhouse Brown right there.
Gilbert whips him in hard into the turnbuckle. Brickhouse standing there waiting on him, catches him with the boot. Puts the boot to Doug Gilbert. Look at that, boy, reverse neck breaker from Brickhouse Brown.
Good one by Brickhouse. He took a moment to celebrate. I'm not sure that was a good idea. When you get an advantage over somebody as tough as Doug Gilbert, you need to go right after him and try for the pin.
Yeah.
Brickhouse working on him on the ropes here. Referee trying to get him down off the ropes. He does. Brickhouse.
Whoa! Whoa! He swung after Lee. Lee ducked. Oh! Doug Gilbert! It's finally one! Oh, boy, he almost had him rolled out. Lee jumps in there and interferes, along with that Brendan Baxter. Let me tell you, I've got enough of this Baxter.
I had enough of him about the second time I saw it. They're all in there. Look at this.
Yeah.
3 against 1.
Look at Baxter supervising him in there. Yeah, get him, get him.
All right, Brickhouse is going to win the thing by disqualification. Boom. Pile driver. Come on, Bill. Ringing the bell's not going to do any good. Get some help in here is what we need to do.
Yeah, that's what we need.
Brickhouse Brown in trouble. 3 against 1.
Get him out of there. Brendan Baxter standing there screaming. Yeah, well, they got the
2 huge. Here comes some help. Here comes Lawler. Here comes Dundee. All right, say hello to some legends. Brandon Baxter.
Oh, the key! Oh, he's got Baxter in there. Look at this. He's got that Brendan Baxter. Lawler's holding on to him. Dundee. I don't know what he's doing now. Bill just ran out. Lawler's holding Brendan Baxter. The key's got, Dundee's got a, what is that, baby? Whoa, my goodness. What the hell is going on? Lawler holding Baxter. Dundee. Well, that big paddle in there nails Brendan Baxter with it. Oh, my goodness.
Dundee came over to and said, you know, something that his parents should have done a long time ago.
He gave it to him.
Not sure I can disagree with that.
That Baxter's really hot right now.
Yeah, let's take a break. Hey, say hello to those legends. We'll be back with more from the USWA. Don't you go away. Just about set to go here as the King, Jerry Lawler, and the superstar, Bill Dundee, will be coming in. And here I hear the music. That means they're going to be on the way right here.
All right.
There's the superstar. And there's the King. And we're just about set to go with a tag team match here. A couple of young men going to be going against him that we're not familiar with here at USWA. Talking about Fred James and Romeo Rodriguez.
Yeah.
We'll find out a little bit more about them as we go along here and watch them in action.
Yeah, a couple of guys that got their hands full today.
I sure do.
Referee Rush calls for the bell.
And the bell sounds. Who's starting? Superstar Bill Dundee for his team, and that's Romeo Rodriguez for his.
Dundee goes after Rodriguez. Nice arm takedown on Romeo Rodriguez. The superstar, North wrestling out of Australia, takes down Rodriguez again. Look pressure on that left arm of Romeo Rodriguez. Put on that arm. Gets a tag on the King, Jerry Lawler. Lawler and Dundee. Double elbow takes Rodriguez down. What? Lawler takes over on Romeo Rodriguez. Rodriguez making his first debut in the USWA, and what an interest, huh? Against the King and the superstar.
Yeah, you got to feel sorry for anyone who's making their debut against these 2 guys here. 2 of the best ever. Lawler over to the corner, makes the tag. Superstar Bill Dundee comes in. Lawler holds him up. Dundee lets him have it. Down to the mat goes Mr. Rodriguez.
Boy, he did let him nail it. Nailed him with that one. And Rodriguez slammed right into his partner, Fred James.
He was slammed into the turnbuckle so hard it knocked his partner down off the apron. He does come back, takes the tag, and doesn't fare much better than his partner did. Now Dundee over to the corner, and here's Lawler coming back in.
Here is the King! Oh!
Make a wish.
James over that one, yeah. Make a wish is right. I think Fred James wishes that he wished that he hadn't signed for this bout here.
Right.
Jerry Lawler attacks Dundee. Bill off the top rope. Rolls up Fred James. And that'll do it. 1, 2, 3. Bill Dundee takes him down, and the King and the Superstar get the win.
Not much doubt about it. Lawler and Dundee in control firmly in the whole thing. The team of Rodriguez and James now complaining about this and that doesn't make any difference. They were just outmanned in the match. And Lawler and Dundee, I see them heading this way. Maybe get a word or two from them. Bill, congratulations. Good win for you there today, King. Nice win over these two guys, but I know you got other things on your mind.
Well, we got another thing on our mind.
Right.
I want to refer to, I don't even like to refer to that little string bean with a, you know, he reminds me of, Dave? He looks like a mop. I mean, he looks like a mop. He's got a long, skinny body like a mop handle, and then he's got this big mop head of hair. Brandon Baxter, he is a thing as far as we're concerned. He don't even qualify as a member of the human race. Now, let me tell you something, Brandon Baxter. You want to come out here on a USWA television and talk about slaying legends? You little punk. Handsome Jimmy Valiant will be back. First of all, let's just clear that up right now. He will be back. You've not slain anybody. But what you did is you embarrassed him, and you and Doug Gilbert and Brian Lee hurt the man. But you, Brandon Baxter, have not done anything. And what you got here today was just a little sample of obviously what you lacked, what you missed when you were a punk growing up. That's what your mother or father should have done, or that's what somebody should have done to you at school if you even went to school. But since they didn't do it, then Bill Dundee and I will go ahead and assume the responsibility of giving you a little lesson that you should have gotten along in life somewhere before now. But we will gladly give it to you now. But now, we're going to write off the fact that Brandon Baxter doesn't know any better. But Doug Gilbert, you and Brian Lee, you do know better. You know that that punk's no legend slayer, and you know that you two are no legend slayers. So if you want to think that you are, if you want to try to prove that you are, here's a couple of legends right here. And we're going to be coming right in your face, and we're going to prove to you that the only legend slayers around here are already legends, and you're looking at them right now.
That's right, Big Fish. And I'd just like to tell you something, you snot-nosed punk. I don't like snot-nosed brats in this business. Now, I'm going to tell you something. That night was a big night for a lot of people. A lot of guys that's been through here, like Tommy Gilbert, Eddie Marlin, Jerry Jarrett, Tojo Yamamoto, God rest his soul, Sputnik Monroe, and the one and only Jackie Fargo. And you ruined it. And you ruined it for a friend of mine, and you ruined it for a friend of Jerry Lawler's, and that's handsome Jimmy Valiant. You snot-nosed brat, I'll pull every hair out of your head.
Watch out, Dave.
Caught in the middle
Be
here.
careful in there, yeah. Gilbert and Lee. And Harris and Baxter start wrecking all of them around out here. They jump on Lawler and Dundee.
Baxter, the legend slayer, send out his guys. Look at this. It's 4 against 2. They got to have those numbers. They could never do this if it was all even. And look at Baxter with his belt there.
Yeah.
I guess he thinks he's getting even with Bill Dundee. Here comes some more help. PG-13 is out, and now all of a sudden it's even. It's even now, and what?
And Doug Gilbert goes over and gets the last lick as he goes around.
A last cheap shot at Jerry Lawler as he's leaving.
Guy, that's,
Let's take a break. We'll return with more in a moment. Match. match, the night to remember in Louisville, the best of Louisville. Brian Christopher, before that, though, there were some things that went on before the match and after the match.
Yeah, Randy Hills and Eddie Marlin were out. Billy Jack Haynes insisted that he be a part of this thing, and we got some highlights on that.
Take a look. Watch what happened.
Underway, what I'm talking about, the best of Louisville Battle Royal. We got a bunch of them in there. Handsome Jimmy, Joe LeDuc battling away at each other. We've got Big Bullet Bob Armstrong, Buddy Landell, Brian Christopher. Right now with a foot down on Wildfire Tommy Rich's neck. And they are going at it, Corey.
They sure are, Lancer. It is a wild one. The best of Louisville taking place tonight in the 25th silver anniversary of the best of Louisville. Lawler LeDuc still fighting it out. Joe LeDuc grabs the king. He's got Jerry out here on the floor. Slams him hard right into that steel cage at ringside. Well, counting in the ring. He's counted to 10, and that's gonna do it for LeDuc, Lawler, and Dundee. They're all eliminated in this thing. Joe LeDuc, Jerry Lawler, Bill Dundee all get the 10 count, and they are eliminated. Lawler, Dundee, and LeDuc eliminated.
So we are down to the final two in the best of Louisville. Wildfire Tommy Rich, who's happily strutting around, while the other participant, Too Sexy Brian Christopher, 1, 2, and Christopher kicks his way out. Rich turning Christopher around, pounds him into the turnbuckle. Remember, it's over the top rope or a pin. Rich with his feet on the ropes, and referee Frank Morrell says no. Break it up. He caught him with the feet on the rope. Here comes Brian Christopher from behind. 1, 2, 3. The winner and the best of Louisville, Brian Christopher.
Christopher gets the 1, 2, 3 land over Tommy Wildfire Rich and is awarded as the best of Louisville. Look out! Here is Billy Jack Haynes. Haynes jumps Christopher from behind, slams him down hard. Billy Jack Haynes, oh, he's got Christopher's trophy. Hey, come on, Billy Jack. He's got the trophy, Lance. Pops it right over there. Too Sexy Brian Christopher. Oh, that's absolutely ridiculous. Uncalled for. Billy Jack Haynes spoiling the moment for Brian Christopher. Christopher wins it. Oh, boy. Pops that thing again. Oh, just crushes all of that glass and everything over the head of Christopher. Isn't that awful?
He just busted him right in the head.
Now, everybody, you're looking at the best in Louisville, baby.
Brian Christopher just assaulted by Billy Jack Haynes. Busted that trophy right over the head of Christopher. Brian Christopher receiving some help from Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee. Lawler brings a trash can in that was involved in a match earlier. Billy Jack Haynes says, I'll tell you, you're looking at the best of Louisville, brother, and that is an exaggeration if I ever heard it. He may have beaten up Brian Christopher when he wasn't looking and lashed him with that trophy. I was worried he got him in the eye. He barely missed it.
Billy Jack Haynes, as you saw right there, spoiled that precious moment for Too Sexy Brian Christopher. Brian won the about the best of Louisville there, but Billy Jack Haynes right there to spoil all of it. And I'm going to tell you, it was absolutely uncalled for what Billy Jack Haynes pulled on Brian Christopher in there. Brian went through the whole thing with all of the wrestlers that participated in the best of Louisville, came out as he got the 1-2-3 over Tommy Rich, and Billy Jack Haynes, yeah, making his way to the ring there, absolutely came in there and just spoiled the entire moment for Brian. That's absolutely ridiculous in there, Billy Jack.
Oh, yeah, that's right, ridiculous. Now, are your eyes open? You know, in Louisville, I seen all these has-beens. I see Jerry Jarrett, Jackie Fargo, Eddie Marlin. I don't give a crap about you has-beens. Now, shut up and hold it. You want me to hold it? Now, did I get the point across to everybody in the USWA? Did I? You're looking at the baddest and toughest man. Fear into everybody. And Monday night, Brian Christopher, you got a little sample in Louisville what's going to happen. Because you punk won't put me in there with nobody. Now I'm in against another punk today. I had to open some eyes, and I did. I don't keep the camera off and get it right on.
Yeah, well, maybe let's get
I don't care what anybody says.
You got a match, Billy Jack.
That's going to be a big weather report. Monday, look in my eyes, Brian Christopher. Look in my eyes, the camera. In Memphis, I told everybody wrestling's the toughest sport. You got banged up and stitched up. Look at my head, punk. Monday night, I'm taking you out of professional wrestling for good.
Well, whether it's Monday night or Tuesday night or Wednesday, whenever it is, it will happen, but I don't know if Billy Jack can take Brian out of wrestling. Let me tell you, this ain't good.
Well, Memphis, Louisville, Evansville, wherever, I don't think he'll surprise
No, Brian's waiting on
Christopher
it.
anymore like he did.
There's Billy Jack Haynes. He will put a feeling in your quake partner that you don't want to even be around this kind of dude. Billy Jack Haynes coming in on the Pacific West Coast. He's tough, no doubt about it. One of the toughest wrestlers around. Got a very high reputation, comes in highly recommended, but all of this other stuff that he's pulling out here is totally uncalled for.
Absolutely. And we just saw a demonstration of it. I mean, you know, here's a guy, he's upset because he's not in the best of Louisville match. It was a night where it was celebrating 25 years of Louisville history. How many times did the guy wrestle there? Once?
Yeah,
I mean, he'd never been there. He wasn't part of the tradition.
Match.
Yeah. Oh, well.
That's absolutely no respect for the fans there in Louisville. We'll apologize to all of the fans there around the USWA for this guy here, Billy Jack Haynes. Hollering and screaming fear, yeah.
Well, Donnie Kelly lying in the middle of the ring.
Well, I tell you one thing, this guy, he's got some fear, and I've got fear for this Billy Jack Haynes, but Brian Christopher does, though.
I don't think fear is the word. I think Brian Christopher is going to be looking for Billy Jack. There's a count of 3. This one's over. Donnie Kelly defeated by Billy Jack Haynes. Let us take a break. We've got a lot more to go, fans. Back with more action coming up. Saturday night was a big night at the Coliseum.
Oh, was it a big night indeed? Hall of Fame inductions. Yourself and Lance hosted that, and it was a thrill.
It was quite a thrill to see the legends there, and the inductions into the Hall of Fame went this way.
Our first 1995 inductee into the Hall of Fame is Eddie Gilbert. And here tonight to accept that honor, a dear friend of mine and a long-time partner, Tommy Gilbert.
bless you, Tommy.
He was later partnered with several other folks, including a couple of them who are standing here tonight. Some of you know him as P.Y. Chuhai. Everyone knows him as Phil Hickerson, our second induction into the Hall of Fame in 1995. Phil Hickerson.
Our next inductee, controversial Canadian backwoodsman, Joe LeDuc. Joe LeDuc. Inducted into the Memphis Wrestling Hall of Fame. And dressed for the occasion, our newest inductee, Joe LeDuc.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome our next inductee into the Hall of Fame, Billy Wicks. Here he is in the Hall of Fame tonight. Big round of applause for Billy Wicks.
And now it wouldn't be complete if we didn't have the opportunity right here, ladies and gentlemen, to bring a guy over here, hear a word from a great human being, but he's a guy that'll fight you for money, marbles, and chalk. Let's hear from our latest inductee and our honoree tonight, the fabulous Jackie Fargo. Jackie!
Thank you, Lance. I didn't think I'd ever be lost for words, but I sure as hell am tonight. I love you very much, and I thank you all so very much. You know, professional wrestling brought me Hall of Fame, and I'm very proud to have lived my life as a professional wrestler. I'm a very lucky human being to have a wonderful family. Judy is with me tonight, my daughter Brandy and Charlotte and my little Jennifer. I feel like I'm the luckiest man that ever lived to be a professional wrestler. And I owe it to you, to everyone in this arena, to my enemies, some of them friends. What a great, great honor to have been a professional wrestler. I'll never forget you because I'm not made that way. I'll always love you and thank you, and all my friends. I look around, I better get out of here. I'm fixing to cry. I love you very much, and God bless you. One last strike for the fans of Memphis, Tennessee.
Nobody like him, the fabulous one, Jackie Fargo himself. I tell you, someone else who's well on the way to becoming a legend in wrestling in general, in addition to the USWA, but has had a tough time last few days after an attack by Billy Jack Haynes with a trophy and all that, is too sexy Brian Christopher. Brian would like to see if we can get a word or two from him about that situation with Billy Jack Haynes. He does have a match signed, in which maybe he can get a measure of revenge, if you will, against the big guy out of the Pacific Northwest. Here he comes right here. He has the USWA heavyweight title slung over his shoulder, but he's a little more subdued than maybe we've seen him on occasion. And with the bandages across the forehead, that's as a result of that trophy being broken across his head.
How you doing, Dave?
Okay, Brian, how are you?
Well, I could be doing a lot better. You know, there's been a lot of big nights here lately in the USWA to honor a lot of special people. Legends, like you said. Legends like Jerry Lawler, Bill Dundee, all the big names. Jackie Fargo, Tommy Gilbert. I could go on and on. But we had one special night that I want to talk about. A special night there in Louisville, Kentucky. And everybody knows that I travel all over from city to city, and I wrestle all over the country. But we had a special night there in Louisville, Kentucky, and it was to honor a lot of legends, and there was a big match. The main event there in Louisville, Kentucky was the best of Louisville, a match to determine the best wrestler in Louisville history. A lot of big names in it, too. Jerry Lawler, Handsome Jimmy, Bill Dundee, Joe LeDuc, and then Brian Christopher. And I dreamed about winning that match. I wanted to win that match so bad, to prove to everybody there, that I was the best in Louisville. I wanted to prove it to all the legends, and you know I've come out here before, and I've run down Bill Dundee, talked about how old he was, talked about how he felt that he was a legend. Well, I wanted to prove to him and everybody in that match that I was the best. I've said it before, then I wanted to prove it. And I did that, Dave Brown. I won that match, and they handed me a big trophy. They handed me a big trophy, said the best of Louisville. And I held that trophy over my head, and I was so proud up until the new man in town, Billy Jack Haynes. Billy Jack Haynes came down there, and he took that trophy away. And then not only did he shatter it over my head, not only did he bust that over my head, but he shattered my night. He ruined that night that I worked so hard, for. Well, Billy Jack Haynes, I don't know what you think you're doing. I don't know if you're trying to come out here and make a name for yourself off of me. I don't know if you're trying to get everybody's attention by jumping me. But I'll tell you what you did do. You got my attention. And I don't know if you want it, Billy Jack Haynes, because I really don't know if you know who Brian Christopher is. I saw all the scars. I saw the scars he was talking about on his forehead, and I know your reputation. I know you've been a wrestler for years and years, Billy Jack Haynes. But believe me, this forehead of Brian Christopher, this pretty face right here, no scars belong on this face. There's no scars that belong on my body. And I'm not going to let somebody like you come in here to the USWA and make a name for yourself off me and put any scars on my head, on my face, anywhere on my body, Billy Jack Haynes. Now, if you want to talk about fighting, Billy Jack Haynes, I'm ready for it, because you've done something now that's got you in hot water. You ruined my night. Now, Billy Jack, we got a match coming up. It's going to be me and you. It's not going to be after I've already wrestled all night long and I got my back turned to you for you to come in and jump me from behind. We're going to be standing in that ring face to face, eye to eye, Billy Jack Haynes, and then we can fight, because I love to fight, Billy Jack. So you come on down there, and I'll have my belt, this belt right here that I worked so hard to get. And I know that you would just love to have this belt around your waist and show it off and tell everybody that you beat Brian Christopher to get it. But believe me, I've faced big men in the past, a lot of big people that thought they could hurt me. And I've been hurt, believe me, but I'm still standing here. And I will still be standing here, Billy Jack Haynes, when I get through with you, because it's time now for payback. You busting that trophy over my head, I will never forget that. But believe me, what you got coming is payback. And remember, like they said before, payback is hell, Billy Jack Haynes, and you would rather walk through hell than receive what I'm going to give you, because I am going to hurt you, Billy Jack Haynes. Remember my words.
The match has been signed. Brian Christopher against Billy Jack Haynes. Back here with more in a moment.
Attention wrestling fans, now you can order the official USWA collectibles that have only been available at the arenas. Official USWA apparel, videotapes, plus many, many more items that are favorites among the fans. For your free catalog, send a self-addressed stamped envelope to USWA Collectibles, Post Office Box 1783, Hendersonville, Tennessee 37077. Get your catalog today.
In the ring right now, it's the Gambler, Gorgeous George III, climbing in the ring. And also, having arrived in the area, get ready to welcome PG-13, JC Ice and Wolfie D. This is going to be a tag team match here in the USWA today, and it should be a good one. They got some participants in there who can really wrestle. PG-13 really feeling very good about themselves as a team and their accomplishments over the last few days.
Oh, yeah, they certainly should.
They're a little unhappy with the Rock and Roll Express, but they did get a great victory over the Rock and Roll Express in the ring,
boy.
and they got to feel good about that. Maybe the biggest match of their career, and they've had some big matches. All right, out here at Uptown Karen and Downtown Bruno over in the corner of the Gambler and Gorgeous George III.
And Gorgeous George III hands out all of his stuff there, including his mirror. And I guess we're ready for this one. Maybe he should let Uptown Karen borrow that mirror.
Yeah, that's very true. I'm not sure she wants to look in the mirror after a haircut she got a couple of weeks ago.
What about Bruno? Yeah, he's got to look at it.
Yeah, that's true.
The Gambler.
Yep,
Yeah.
the Gambler. This guy's tough.
He sure is.
And he comes in with a Riverboat Gambler outfit and throwing cards everywhere, but don't sell him short. He can wrestle. Same thing is true for Gorgeous George III. Gorgeous George III, everybody tends to say, well, you know, he steps in here with the feathers and the spray and all of that. Yeah, but this guy's got an amateur wrestling background. He's tough, too. But PG-13, no, back up the minibot.
That's just a distraction, all of that stuff that Gorgeous George III does. And his guy can go, let me tell you. J.C. Ice standing in, and a tag made from Gorgeous George III to his partner, the Gambler. And tag team action right here in the USWA. What a day today, Dave Brown.
No doubt about it. We've had lots of action. We've had lots of things going on. One thing that we've had going on is the Legend Slayers, so named by Brandon Baxter.
Yeah.
That very disagreeable young man who arrived in USWA and immediately started insulting everything. He's got no respect for anything, no respect for tradition, no respect for a lot of the good things that we have going around here.
And the same type of thing with a guy like Billy Jack Haynes. You know, those two, you just wonder where these guys come from with this type of mentality.
Well, yeah, especially with Billy Jack Haynes. I mean, he gets all bent out of shape because he's not in a match that he didn't belong in.
No.
And, you know, okay, come in here, be tough, win the matches, but don't do it that way. Down to the mat goes the Gambler. PG-13, great teamwork there. Wolfie D gets the cover.
Cover over here.
He's got it, but the referee is over talking to J.C. Ice, didn't see it, so no count begins. Up in the air, look out, from behind, Gorgeous George III. Nail Wolfie D in the back. Got a 1, 2, nope, only a 2 count. Wolfie D able to break out of it, but almost a miscarriage of justice there. Tag made by the Gambler.
Go, Whoopie, go! The fans cheering on PG-13. In this battle, Whoopie D taking a pounding from these two. Gorgeous George III and the Gambler. And George III putting a boot to him, was choking him there. Snaps Whoopie D over, attacks the Gambler. And here they come now. Double teaming them. Ooh. Man, right in the spine of that back. The Gambler with a knee one, and the Whoopie kicks out. Kicked right out of it at the 1 count. And the fans again were right behind PG-13. Trying to get them going in this tag team bout. Tag made on Gorgeous George III. And the Gambler with a double elbow takes down Whoopie cover to Whoopie up. Man, they keep putting it to Whoopie D. They're going one after another.
Gambler,
They're not letting up.
Gambler, Gorgeous George III, double teaming Wolfie D. Look at this, Gorgeous George holding him up. Gambler leaps over the back. Whoa. Wolfie D's in trouble. Count of 1. Oh, only a 1 count. He's able to break out of it. But man, they have really been hammering him. And see how they're keeping him away from the tag on J.C. Ice?
That's a great point. They're doing all of their damage over in their corner. But J.C. gets in there. Here comes Ice Baby. Gets in the ring, but referee Bill Rush gets him right back out of there. Gorgeous George III sets up Whoopie. J.C. nailed him. 2, 3.
That's it.
PG gets the win.
PG-13 with a victory. We'll be back in a moment.
Bill Superstar Dundee here, and I'm sure you just saw on your television what happened with that Brandon Baxter. Oh, yeah, you're big and bad, son, when you got about 4 guys holding one guy and you got a belt and you wanted to whip him. Now you run around saying you're legend slayers. Let me tell you something, you snot-nosed brat. You never put Handsome Jimmy out of wrestling. You just hurt him, and he's a personal friend of mine. Now, you just don't wake up one day and say, hey, I'm a legend. You've got to drive up and down them roads day in and day out in all kinds of weather, brother, and you got to sweat a little, and you got to bleed a little. Yeah, and sometimes you cry a little, and then maybe one day you'll be a legend. Jackie Fargo was a legend. I don't know if I'm a legend around here or not yet, but I'm trying to be one, brother, and it's punks like you that make guys like me want to be legends, because I don't like you. I don't like what you stand for. You've got Doug Gilbert all fired up thinking he's something he's not. You got Brian Lee thinking he's something he's not, and you run around saying it's a new day and it's a new era. No, brother, it's the same day. Punks like you had no place in this business 30 years ago, and they got none now. Brandon Baxter, as sure as my name, Bill Dundee, I'm taking you out of here, boy.
Well, we have all kinds of situations that we were talking about today. This thing with Billy Jack Haynes and Brian Christopher is going to turn into a war, has already turned into a war.
No doubt about it, no doubt about it. I look forward to Brian getting his hands on that Billy Jack Haynes.
And the Legend Slayers. Can you believe this Brandon Baxter coming in here and insulting everyone and then claiming Legend Slayers? Well, we'll find out in the ring. We're running short on time. Lance will be back with us next week. Thank you for joining us. Until next week, when we hope you'll be back. For Corey Macklin, I'm Dave Brown. So long, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of USWA Championship Wrestling.